This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. Even though we still have to celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas is on people's minds, and that includes Christmas trees. So what do you need to know to pick the perfect one for your home and make it last? Well, we have the expert here this morning, Janie Fouch from Fouch's Christmas Tree Farm. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Ella. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on. So first of all, when does the Christmas Tree Farm open up to the public?
Thanksgiving Day, this Thursday. So we'll open
right.
at noon on Thanksgiving.
All right. And what types of trees are available at the farm?
Mostly Scotch pine. We have a lot of different hybrid Scotch pines. We have some Austrian pines, a few white pines. We've started some more white pine seedlings, but the majority of sellable trees are Scotch pine.
All right, so I know that a lot of people in the Heartland love to have a fresh tree in their home to decorate and stuff. What are some things that we need to keep in mind, and what are some things we need to look at when we go out and pick the right Christmas tree?
Well, I'd say the first thing is the size. Even though out in a tree field with other trees, they don't look that big, they seem to grow on the way home. And many people have thought, oh, this is going to fit in a spot easily, and then when they get it home, they can't get it through the door, they can't. So I would say, first of all, check the size. After that, to maintain a Christmas tree, I keep mine up usually about 2 months because I love Christmas. And so as long as you keep it watered, you shouldn't have any problem at all. But once you let that water once you let it dry out, then you've got problems. So as long as you keep water in it every day, then you should be able to easily keep it 6 or 8 weeks.
Besides adding water, is there anything special we need to do from cutting it at the Christmas Tree Farm to bringing it home? Do we have to recut the trunk or anything like that?
If you're going to keep it out very long, if you were just going to say go to the tree field and 20 minutes later drive in town and set it up, then I think you should be fine. If you're going to keep it overnight or a couple hours, it's always good just to take another little slice or just break open that seal at the bottom, because just like anything, it seals over when it hits the air, and you want it to be able to absorb the water that you put it into.
All right.
So.
And how often should we change out the water on the bottom? You say you make yours last about 2 months.
Right.
How do you make that possible?
Well, the first couple days, I have a tree stand with a giant container, and then the first couple days, it'll drink about a gallon each day. And then after the first week, then it tapers off a little bit, and by the second or third week, then I just keep the bottom of the trunk covered, so of course no air ever gets to the very base of it. And I never have any problems.
And what should we look out for with the pine needles? Do we need to make sure that, obviously water to make sure they don't dry out? What happens if they start browning a little bit? Is that a sign that it's drying up and dying?
I don't know necessarily. You wouldn't want to put it right over a heat vent or right next to a fireplace. We always just, we put ours by a vent, but we just close the vent off that's right there next to it. And so we try and keep it away from any direct heat sources. I don't really think I have never had any trouble. I know people have, but sometimes they carry them on their trees out of state or on their trees. Sometimes they carry them on their cars out of state or 2 or 3 hours. But I think as long as you make sure there's a fresh cut at the bottom and keep it watered, you shouldn't have any problems at all.
All right. So, and the most important thing you would say is obviously check size. So if you come with measurements, that's okay, right?
Exactly right. But the most important thing is to keep it watered.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes,
that is true.
Yes.
So, all right. So again, you open this Thursday on Thanksgiving Day. What are the price ranges when it comes? I mean, do you have everything from a different price range for really cheap or expensive, or how does that work?
We don't. We have a few tabletop trees that we cut down, and they, of course, are cheaper. But mostly our prices are $25. That includes the tax, and that's from all sizes. So you can get any size you want. You can get a huge one, and cut off the top, or you can, get whatever size you want. And that seems to keep it in control more. That way people don't cut the tops off of trees trying to look for a bargain if you, price them by the foot. But so we just, the whole field is $25. You can go any place you want, and then we pay the tax on it out of that.
Perfect.
So.
Well, thank you so much, Janie, for coming on. What we'll do is we'll post everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com, as well as the tips that you just provided to make sure to pick out the perfect tree or to make sure it lasts. Anything else you'd like to add?
Great, Ellen. Well, they just gave us a wonderful forecast for this weekend, so I would say it'd be a great time to come out to the Christmas tree farm and get your Christmas tree.
Perfect. And then we'll post the information and directions on how to get there. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Ella. I really appreciate it.
And we'll be right back.